Okay, good morning. Today is Tuesday, August 25th. This is a regular meeting of the Kings County Board of Supervisors. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. 26? All right, hang on. Yep, today the 26th. So thank you very much for that correction. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Neves.
Here.
Richard Valley. Doug Verboon.
Here.
Rusty Robinson.
Here.
Robert Thayer is absent.
4 members are present, 1 is absent. Would you all please rise for invocation from Bishop John Smith Jr., Lily of the Valley Church. But before you start, Bishop, I'd like to take a moment of silence. We lost one of our natives here in Hanford. Dr. Joseph Castro passed away on Sunday afternoon, and I'd like to have a moment of silence in his honor. And
Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this moment, this opportunity, this time that we have come to this Board of Supervisors meeting. We thank you, Lord, that you have guided us, helped us, and kept us all year long, all week long, all month long. Father, we pray, Lord, that you continue to guide this leadership, this county, this city, this country, this state. Lord, we ask that you would just get in the minds and the hearts of your people, that we would continue to put you first in all that we do. Father, we pray that you would touch this leadership, this board, these leaders and workers here in this community. We pray that you would just continue to guide their efforts, Lord, that we will continue to work together to make a better county. Father, we thank you for all those presents. We thank you for this time. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
you okay here on his birthday? Thank you for that. Happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday. The Bishop and you. Right on. That's cool. So he might be a little younger than you. Yeah, yeah. He's 66. 46. About 20 years difference, not bad. Happy birthday. Thank you for coming. Appreciate that. Okay, we're going to go now to employee recognition. We have Carrie Martinez. Hi, Carrie.
Good morning, Chairman. It's actually the photo contest. So this morning, we are here to present the winner of our contest for our photo contest that we host annually. So the State Controller's Office mandates us to have a required budget book to the State Controller's Office by October every year. And so yesterday we had our budget hearings, and we started doing this in 2019, where we started asking employees to submit photos to be the cover of the budget book. So for those who can't see on WebEx, our book just looks like a plain cover color. This is how it used to look historically. And with now the photo contest, we actually select a winner and their photo gets on the budget book. So this was last year. So this year, we actually got 56 photos. And the good thing about the photos is that we actually get waivers with them. So then we use the photos for materials if any department needs them. We'll share them. We have them on our website, and they are able to use for any kind of materials that any county department needs. So at this time, I wanted to present you a presentation of the past covers of the contest. Next slide, please. So here on the far left was our first one that we did in 2019. So this is the Avenel Hills. And so we broke it up into categories. So the categories are best in agriculture, historical building, and landscape. So we gather from those 3 categories, and then we select an overall winner. And the overall winner ends up being the book cover. So at this time, I'm actually going to invite Mr. Chairman to come to the well so you can present the best agricultural photo winner.
I don't know.
So it is actually Dustin Beal from Behavioral Health, and the location is north of Hanford. Dustin, would you like to come down for your certificate and take a photo with the board? With an iPhone? Oh. It's a certificate. And it's an honor. Well, and then his photo might show up in other printing materials.
Next year.
So the next winner we have is going to be for the best historical building photo, and it is Kelly Luna from Human Services Agency. The location is the Lacey Mill in Hanford. Kelly was with an iPhone too. Kelly, I would stay there because you are also the winner of the best landscape photo. No. Near Fifth Avenue east of 43. No, we're going to announce the overall winner. So the overall winner does get a trophy. So the overall winner and the one who received the most votes and will be displayed on the cover of our budget book is Dustin Beal. And the next slide, it will show you how our budget book is going to look like.
The iPhone award. That's old school.
And that concludes our presentation. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's awesome. We had a lot of pictures to choose from, and it's really difficult. And so I just go and just mark off the ones I like, and I use color and what's in it. And everybody has their own little safe deal. Some people take forever.
But I had a conversation.
I did it in like maybe 5 minutes. The Rusty was there for like 2 hours. But we all come together and we pick the best one out of all of us. I don't know how many people judge. I don't know, all 5 of us and some staff members too.
Yes, the group that helped vote was the secretaries for the county.
All right.
Mhm.
That was exciting. All right, thank you. Okay, right now we'll go on to unscheduled appearances. This is an opportunity for members of the public to address the board on items of interest within the board jurisdiction and which are not already on the agenda. The board will not answer questions impromptu, and concerns or complaints will be referred to the appropriate staff. For items which are on the agenda, members of the public will be provided an opportunity to address the board on as each item is brought up for discussion. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes on each item. So thank you. And so we have any speaker cards.
I have no written correspondence, and I do have a speaker card from Lupe Villa.
Anybody else? Oh, Lupe, come on down. We did an election.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board and the audience. I just want to give you guys a quick update on our activities in the elections office. As you guys may know, we have the governor signed ACA 8, which is the redistricting for the November 4th election. So we'll be holding that election throughout Kings County. Every registered voter will be receiving a ballot by mail. we'll be operating 5 centers instead of 7. 1 center in Lemoore. We couldn't locate or find a location for the second center, so we had to downgrade. It's just not enough time to do all 7 centers. We will be deploying 11 drop boxes throughout Kings County to try to make up for those centers that we cannot operate it at. The other activity that we have going on is City of Avenel. So we have a recall for all 5 board members, city council members. 4 of those recalls are in the 3rd draft stage, meaning the petition has been submitted to my office for the 3rd time. We review that petition to make sure it meets the requirements that are set in code. Once we review it, we give it back to the proponents. The proponents have 10 days to submit it back to us for another 10-day review. Then we go back and forth until the petition meets the requirements. We're hoping that we're maybe close to that stage, and that is for the first 4 members that were recalled. Right after that, we got a second request for the 5th member. That 5th member has until, those proponents have until September 2nd to submit the first draft of that petition to my office for review. Once that petition is reviewed, it's given back to them. So if everything was to fall into place, we're looking at somewhere between March, I would say late February to mid-March to hold that election. The proponents would need at minimum 526 signatures per petition. Each one is individual. They're not together. So you got 5 recalls. There's going to be 5 board members, so or 5 council members. They're all individual, independent of each other. That is 25% of the number of registered voters for the city of Avenel. We also have a contest for the Reef Sunset School District in Avenel that is going to be on the November 4th ballot as well. So members of or registered voters of the city of Avenel that reside within Area 4 of the Reef Sunset School District will have 2 contests on their ballot come November 4th. One is going to be for the election of the school board member, and the second one will be for Proposition 50, which is the redistricting that we are going to be having countywide. So those are just an updates that we have. Just want to give you guys an update on it to make sure you're aware of what's going on within the elections office. They're keeping us busy, but we're on target.
Yeah, I would only ask that you make sure when you do your budgeting, don't be afraid to put some unexpected expenses in there.
Right.
If you underdo it, you have to take money out of general fund. If you overdo it, you just take that money for the next election.
Yeah. So we had that experience back in 2021, as mentioned yesterday during our budget hearing. It's, the state does ask each county to submit a proposed estimate or an estimate of the cost of what would be. So we padded as much as we can for every single area that they give us. So one of them, it's, staffing is what takes the most out of that. Materials, printing the ballots is very costly nowadays. It's just, we see increase of about 10%. So we're comfortable. I'm very comfortable in regards to budget and how to move forward. The challenge with Prop 50 and being so soon is the locations and trying to find poll workers in such a tight turnaround. But as mentioned, we have 5 locations instead of 7. Each city was going to have, Hanford will have 2 locations. Lemoore will have 1. You'll have 1 in Corcoran and 1 in Avenel as well. So we struggled, but I think we're good. The Senate Bill 280, which was signed last week on Thursday, does have requirements on there of what type of election we need to deploy. So we're actually above and beyond the requirements. They're requiring 1 vote center for every 30,000 registered voters. We're at about 57 here in Kings County. We're having 5. They require 1 drop box for every 15,000 voters. We're going to have 11. So we're way above and beyond of what the requirements are. So we're ready.
Thank you.
Mr. Severe, do you have any talking points on the changes to the proposed changes to that congressional district?
So we are going to be, the maps are available on the website. If you guys visit the Assembly Committee on Elections website or the Senate Committee on Constitutional Amendments website, you'll see the map. You're also going to be getting a copy of the map. Every registered voter will be getting a state voter information guide. On the state voter information guide, they're going to have a picture of depicting the map that is being proposed for voters to vote on. But we are going to be moving to, if it passes, will be Congressional District 18, 20, and 22. So
3 representatives.
Yeah. I mean, I was not happy with it due to the fact that we're gonna have to split our voters into 3 districts instead of what we had 2. And when I started, we were 1, and now we're at 3, and that creates a lot of work for my office. One of the other challenges we're gonna have is, should Prop 50 pass, we're gonna have very short time frame to be able to drop the new boundary lines and send out the appropriate ballots to those folks living within that district. So you're talking December 19 is the nomination period for June 2026 primary. So if you have anyone that comes in is trying to file for office, we might have some challenges. So part of the estimated cost of this election, it includes what's going to cost us and to hire outside help to make sure that we have our GIS in order.
So your GIS, so the state's doing this to us. That's another expense to us to have to go and redraw the lines.
Right.
And get information to the voters.
Right. I
know last time they did this, they changed, they put two representatives in our district.
Right.
And you don't know until you go vote sometimes.
Right.
You're on the line.
Yeah. So when census happened in 2020, so the lines were dropping in 2021. We went from the 21st to the 20th and 22nd. And we had quite a few folks within Hanford very concerned about not being represented by Valadale, who was representing them before. So it's very difficult to educate the public in such a short time. So we do get an increase in phone calls of unhappy voters saying, why am I being represented by such? So we're expecting that to happen again, moving some folks to mainly Avenel, I think is going to go to CD 18. So the way they carved it out is kind of, doesn't make any sense to me as the administrator. It creates a lot more work for me and my staff. And it worries me to the extent that, how are we going to have a short period of time to drop those new lines? So, but needless to say, it's a duty that we have to do, and we're ready to accomplish.
In the 3 congressional districts?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes.
You're now in Kern County.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're right to your house around it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me go launch my campaign.
Yeah. Yeah. So you'll see the city of Hanford stays pretty much by itself. It's kind of weird. I mean, it's pretty obvious. If you look at the maps and you know your areas, if you're in the business of politics, you'll see the efforts are pretty much there. So, but that's just the proposed map. Again, Prop 50, November 4th would be the time for the voters to come on and say yes or no to the proposed map. So,
I think one thing that'd be helpful. I don't believe it's our job. Well, I'm not going to say that right now, whether it's our job to educate the public on this campaign. They're going to have campaign war chests to put whatever message they are. But I think what would be helpful for us is to let the community know that it doesn't affect us, because some people think it's going to affect our supervisorial districts, assembly, Senate. That's not what this is about. Nothing's going to be changed. It's just congressional seats.
Yeah.
That'd be helpful to alleviate any concerns in the community.
Yeah. So that is absolutely 100% correct, is that the only impact is going to be to congressional seats, nothing else. So we're not going to change the number of seats that are within the state of California. They're just redistricting and moving the boundaries to have representation, a greater representation by a certain party compared to the other party, but no change to city council, schools, board of supervisors, none of that. It's just congressional seats that are going to be switching if the map is proposed. So we can't even prepare for this should he pass, because if he doesn't pass, we would have to revert back. So we got to wait until we certify, which is December 2nd. We cannot certify the election till the 2nd of December. And then the filing starts December 19th. So, and all that was calculated as part of the estimate. So we are going to be taxing the state to pay for all these services that we're rendering to them. Yeah. So, but mainly my main objective being up here today was to bring some awareness to what's happening in the city of Avenel. So everybody's aware that there's 5 seats, 4 are pending the review of the 4th or the 3rd petition review, and 1 is going to be at the very first review, which is due September 2nd. If the proponents do not submit that petition for review on the 2nd, then the efforts fail. They would have to go back to square one.
Do you provide help, or do you just, when people come in and say, I'm turning this in, and like you mentioned, some are on the third draft. So I take that as you mark it up and say, got to go fix this, and this, come back. Do you provide the ability to say, hey, bring someone out here, sit down, and let's get it done before they have to drive all the way back to, in this case, Avenue?
Yeah, so they're provided, we can't communicate with anyone other than the proponents. There's got to be 60 proponents, so one of them can be the spokesperson, right? So we communicate with that person or group. But yes, in regards to our reviews, they're giving a very detailed letter of what's wrong with the petition. And when I say detailed, I mean, it's down to you got to dot, cross your T's, or do whatever you have to do. Margins, there's all kinds of requirements that they have for those petitions, and they're very detailed. So they are provided the help. They're given the handbook. We're available to answer any questions they may have to both proponents. You got two different parties going at each other, so we support both of them. We have no horse in the race. So. Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, you guys have a good day. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Have no speaker card. Doesn't appear anyone online has their hand raised.
Anybody in the audience? Seeing none, we'll move on now to approval of the minutes. Report out of closed session from regular meeting, August 19th, 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There's nothing to report.
Thank you. Item B, approval of the minutes from regular meeting, August 19th, 2025. Moved by Supervisor Robinson, second by Supervisor Neves. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Neves.
Yes.
Richard Valley. Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
All in favor, one absent. Moved on to consent calendar. All items on a consent calendar are to be considered routine and will be enacted by one motion. If a board member has a question or requests additional information or wishes to comment on an item or vote should be taken, no vote should be taken on until the questions have been addressed or comments made. And the public has an opportunity to comment on this calendar. Do we have any suggestions? Moved by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Robinson. Do we have any questions from the audience? Anybody online? Seeing none, we'll move on to roll call.
Joe Neves.
Yes.
Richard Valley. Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes. All in favor, one absent. We'll move on now to regular calendar. We have behavioral health department. Yep. Good morning. How are we doing today?
Good morning. Good. How are you doing?
Oh,
Let me just.
there we go. Well, good morning, Christy. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
We're taking time.
I know.
Just moving up. We're good.
Okay. All right. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Supervisors. Christy Lepke, Assistant Director for Kings County Behavioral Health. I'm here to request your board's approval for an agreement with Merced Behavioral Health to provide adult skilled nursing facility and specialized treatment program services for Kings County Behavioral Health clients, particularly those on LPS conservatorship effective September 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2027. Also here today is Cody and Mr. Howell from the Public Guardian's Office, and also we have with us two individuals from our Kingsview Crisis and Placement team who work most closely with the clients that are placed here with Kings County Behavioral Health. Thank you for being here. As a designated county mental health plan, Kings County Behavioral Health is required by its mental health plan agreement 22-159 with the California Department of Healthcare Services to ensure the availability and provision of all medically necessary, especially mental health services, which expressly include specialized treatment program services for adults, so STP services for adults. Specifically, this requirement is cited in California Code of Regulations, Title IX, Section 1810.345, and further detailed in the County DHS Mental Health Plan Contract, which mandates MHPs to provide or arrange for the provision of all covered specialty mental health services, including skilled nursing facility, specialized treatment program placements. So it's SNF-STP. When medically necessary to eligible Medi-Cal beneficiaries in their jurisdiction. For reference, a STP is a type of program operated within a skilled nursing facility, a SNF, licensed by the California Department of Public Health. It is specifically designed for adults with chronic psychiatric impairment whose ability to manage daily life is severely compromised. Merced Behavioral Health operates a licensed 96-bed SNF with an STP. serving adults with severe mental illness who clinically require a secure environment, continuous supervision, and individualized rehabilitative treatment plans focused on improving function, skill development, and preparation for lower levels of care. This program is critical for clients with complex needs and high acuity who cannot be treated effectively in community settings or at a lower level of care. During fiscal year 24-25, Kings County referred 11 clients to this facility at a total cost of $1.8 million. Each of these individuals placed at Merced Behavioral Health are staffed by Kings County Behavioral Health Crisis and Placement Team through Kingsview, the Kings County Behavioral Health Adult System of Care Clinical Program Management, and Public Guardian to ensure placement is most appropriate for client based on the requirement to treat individuals at the least restrictive setting based on treatment needs. Once placed, the crisis placement team through Kingsview, the adult system of care clinical program management through Kings County Behavioral Health, and Public Guardian monitor and staff client services and progress to ensure the ability to transition the client to a lower level of care when clinically appropriate. Based on historical utilization and cost, the proposed agreement authorizes expenditures of up to $2.2 million for fiscal year 2025-26 and $2.8 million for fiscal year 26-27. This allows for the potential to cover approximately 12 clients per fiscal year as needed. Sufficient appropriations for this agreement were included in the fiscal year 25-26 final budget in Budget Unit 422200 Mental Health Services Act, and there is no impact to the County General Fund. Mental health plans statewide, including Kings County Behavioral Health, continue to struggle with a shortage of available STP beds due to limited licensed capacity, geographic constraints, and rising demand in intensive services. There are only 20 licensed STPs in California, of which 2 are within the Central Valley. Merced Behavioral Health, which is 96 beds, is one, and the other is Generations Healthcare Anberry Nursing and Rehabilitation, 58 beds, which is also in Merced, and we also contract with them. We are contracted with both to ensure an ability to place clients in a timely manner, most local to their support systems. However, being the only 2 within the Central Valley, we compete with other counties for use of beds when the clinical need arises. This demonstrates both the rarity and regional scarcity of STT programs in California, especially in the Central Valley area. And I'll say that there's about 1,200 SNFs in California, so only 20 have an STP within them. Agreements like the one with Merced Behavioral Health are essential to streamline referral approvals, expedite placement for high-need clients, and ensure Kings County Behavioral Health can fulfill its contractual obligations under the mental health plan and state and federal law. And the reason that you're getting this contract today is not because we just started using them. We've been using them historically. However, we use them when the clinical need arises, and we do a single case agreement then for that individual. The state now requires that we have a standing agreement. They won't accept single place agreements for us to demonstrate that we're meeting that contractual requirement of having an STP program available. So all of the counties now are developing a lot of standing agreements with placements they've used historically, and you'll start to see actually many of those brought before you over the course of the next 6 months as we start to stand up these standing agreement items with those facilities that we use most frequently. Although we may be then, if they are full, or we need a facility that meets a client need that we don't traditionally use, then we'll be bringing that agreement to you, but it'll be retroactive. They'll always be retroactive because we're always needing to place the day of we find the placement need. And if we're unable to place timely, typically they then sit at the emergency room waiting for that placement, or they're inside a psychiatric hospital for which they no longer need to be in the psychiatric hospital because they've been stabilized enough to move to this setting, but they're having to stay there administratively until we get an agreement in place. The contract has undergone review and approval by County Council as to form and meets all requirements under our existing mental health plan contract with the state. I respectfully request your board's approval of this agreement with Merced Behavioral Health to ensure Kings County Behavioral Health remains compliant with DHCS requirements and is able to meet the needs of our most vulnerable residents on LPS conservatorship receiving specialty mental health services.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board?
I just have a quick one. So also, I'll make a motion also, but the question is that the healthcare costs seem to be rising dramatically. Is that just because of the scarcity that combined with just healthcare in general?
I believe that it's just the rise across all healthcare industries, and so they're having to keep up with the cost of their services. So as electricity costs go up, staffing costs go up. So just the nature of all costs in general, and the economy goes up. We will also incur the costs going up, but we only pay them what the DHCS publishes as rates. And so the State Department of Healthcare Services publishes the rate that they cannot charge any more than that to us. However, they can also then attach what's called patch rates and one-on-one supervision rates. And so for clients who may have more complex needs that needs an augmented service because they need maybe one-on-one supervision while they're there, or they have some additional complex needs like justice involved, aggression, where they may need to have augmented services, we then pay what's called a patch rate on top of that. And so while we were looking at our utilization to always monitor why our costs are going up, it's not that our utilization is necessarily going up. It's the fact that we're placing individuals with more and more complex needs and therefore incurring more and more like patch rates or one-on-one supervision. The cost of, everything is going up.
It's amazing that some of the medications they have available, but the cost of research and development.
Absolutely.
Good.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Supervisor Robinson, second by Supervisor Neves. Do we have any questions from the audience? Anybody online?
Doesn't appear.
Okay, bring it back to the board for roll call.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley. Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
All in favor, one absent. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you.
Move on out to the IT department and Anthony. Nope.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. Christopher Verge, Information Security Officer with Kings County Department of Information Technology. Today, we're seeking your approval for a new agreement with Communication Resources Incorporated to continue the essential service and support of our county's Avaya telephone system. The current maintenance agreement, which the board approved last year, is set to expire on August 31st, so in 5 days. This agreement will ensure that there is no lapse in coverage. This one-year agreement with Communication Resources Incorporated will run from September 1st, 2025 through August 31st, 2026. It covers the annual license required by Avaya and provides crucial support and services, including help desk support, hardware troubleshooting and support, remote administration, and configuration assistance. The total cost of this agreement is $224,350. This funding has been included in the fiscal year 25-26 proposed final budget under budget unit 195500. It is important to note that the county departments are billed monthly for these services through the information technology rates, which are also part of the proposed budget. Based on the need to maintain continuous support for our telephone systems, our recommendation is to approve the agreement with CRI, Communication Resources Incorporated, for the service and support of Kings County's Avaya telephone system, and to authorize the purchasing manager to sign necessary purchase order. I'm available for any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any questions?
Movement, Chair.
Moved by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Robinson. Do we have any questions from the audience? Online, nothing?
No.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, next we'll go to item C, library. Tanya Russell. How's it going, Tanya? Good. Got everything under control?
Absolutely.
Good.
Did he get his library card?
I'll go check. I definitely will. Good morning, Chairman, Supervisors, and members of the public. I'm here to ask your approval for the closure of the Hanford and Lemoore branch libraries for packing and moving effective September 15th through October 6, 2025. Additionally, I'm asking you to approve the agreement with Always Moving Cal Bennett for packing, storage, and moving services for the Hanford and Lemoore branch libraries. Since our Building Forward Infrastructure Grant Award in 2022, the library has reached a phase in our grant and construction where we need to close to commence for the upcoming renovations. The Hanford Library will be operating out of 110 South 11th Avenue. The Lemoore Library will close permanently for 12 months and have twice weekly service from our mobile library, the Kimball. We are anticipating 1 week of packing for both libraries, 1 week of moving and storing, and 1 week of setup at our temporary location. The second item for your approval is the agreement with Always Moving for packing, storing, and moving services. When both library remodels are complete, Always Moving will be bringing the items back to the locations and setting them up. Always Moving has extensive experience with moving other libraries, such as COS, Visalia Unified School District, and other libraries in the Tulare County Library System. I am respectfully asking you to approve both of these items, and I can take any questions.
Thank you. Any questions?
The movement, Chair.
Moved by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Robinson. Any questions from the audience? Nothing online?
No.
Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley. Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I know I moved one time and my daughter helped me, and she's the only one with an education, and she wrote fragile on every single box. We still have boxes that we haven't opened yet. You're like, look at that. Okay, Public Works Department. Who we got today? Joe? Good morning.
Morning. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. I am Joe Grava, Park Superintendent with the Public Works Department. I am here to present the special event request for the Sheriff Posse for exclusive access to Burris Park for their annual Crab Feed event. Since 2015, the Kings County Public Works Parks Division has granted the Sheriff Posse exclusive use of Burris Park annually for their event. This year, the Crab Feed is scheduled for Saturday, September 6th. Ryan is here from the Sheriff Posse to provide you with a little more background regarding the Sheriff Posse and the annual Crab Feed.
Thank you. Morning, Ryan. How you doing?
Good morning. Well, I'm put on the spot. I didn't know I
Welcome
was
to
coming
Kings
to
County.
the
Well, I'm gonna
supervisors
put you
meeting
on the
until
spot again. What is the
yesterday.
weather going to be like for that night?
But the proceeds from the event have historically gone to the sheriff's department, specifically the K9 and Explorers post as well. The posse's involvement in this event also offers Explorers opportunity to assist, participate, making it open to the public. The Public's Works Department aims to continue to foster its relationship with the sheriff's posse by providing a suitable venue for the event.
Very nice. And the weather?
It's going to be beautiful.
Because if it's hot,
90 degrees, not 105 like
when
it
it's
has
hot,
been.
the beer goes down too fast.
Yes.
And the mosquitoes come out. I'm not bothered about mosquitoes, but most other people are. The park will be all set up. Very good.
Ready to go.
Good deal. Any questions from the board?
The movement, Chair.
Moved by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Robinson. Any questions from the audience?
No.
Dave, you got anything you want to add to it? Your last dinner? Okay. So last year, I wasn't able to make it. I had to go to DC, but my daughter went in my place and they said, you got an airboat out there on display. And there was no air movement. So they asked, maybe in this time, if it's that hot, turn the airboat on and blow some air across everybody.
Hey, where the sheriff's returning to, he's gonna have the fresh catch of the day. He's not gonna be eating no frozen crab. That's it.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Okay, 4 in favor, 1 absent. Thank you.
Thank you,
And thanks
Supervisor.
to Sheriff Posse for doing that every year. The Sheriff's Office really appreciates it. We all appreciate it too.
Thank you.
Okay, item E, Veteran Service Office. Scott's been sitting in the front row with Cody, so good morning.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. Cody Pennington, Assistant Public Guardian Veteran Service Officer. As required by California Military and Veterans Code, approval for the Board of Supervisors is required for the subvention allocation certificate certification forms from the California Department of Veteran Affairs. The approval provides a process for the portion of the federal allocation made to CalVet to come to local governments in the form of a reimbursement, offsetting the costs of operations to the local county veteran service office. The subvention certificate of compliance before the board is in accordance with the state's charge to make contributions to counties towards compensation expenses of their CVSO. According to California Military and Veteran Code Section 972 and 972.1, State General Fund expenditures, and Section 972.2 as Special Fund expenditures. Per California Military and Veterans Code, the board certifies that Kings County has appointed a veteran to serve as the local veteran service officer. The CVSO will administer the provisions of the Military and Veterans Code and claim processing duties, which include service-connected disability, pension, burial, survivor, and education benefits. Additionally, the CVSO supports the VA healthcare registration, aggressive outreach activities, and other functions of the office. The requirement for the annual audit is stipulated in the CalVet Procedures Manual, Subvention, and Medi-Cal cost avoidance. A special reference to the authority of the CVSO is to actively participate in the Vehicle License Plate Program is mentioned in the required certificate. The Veteran Service Office Fund is funded through the Veterans License Plate Program. These funds are distributed on a pro rata basis using each county's total net expenditures for the CVSO operations and training attendance. Funds are also distributed to reimburse for travel approved for the CVSO mentor program. The Medi-Cal cost avoidance program also requires the county to have appointed a CVSO. The program authorizes the California Military and Veterans Code Section 972.5 is designed to benefit the Department of Health Services for realized cost avoidance to the Medi-Cal program. This section enables the Department of Veterans Affairs to enter into agreements with these departments to secure federal matching funds for CVSO activities. Eligibility workers generate a Form MCO5 indicating the applicant's welfare aid code. All monies received under this agreement must be allocated to and spent on the salaries and expenses of the CVSO. This certificate is retroactive due to the delay in receiving the agreements and CalVet's timeline requirements for the completion of these certificates. Subvention funds are state general fund dollars. The Medi-Cal cost avoidance program funds are federal dollars passed through the California Department of Healthcare Services to CalVet and ultimately the CVSO. These funds are reflected in the 25-26 final budget in the amount of $110,000. The Veterans Service Office respectfully requests the board approve the certificate of compliance for the county subvention program and the certificate of compliance for the Medi-Cal cost avoidance program with the California Department of Veteran Affairs retroactively from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. The certificates have been reviewed and approved by County Council as to form, and I am available for any questions.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the board? Moved by Supervisor Robinson, seconded by Supervisor Neves. Anybody have a question from the audience? You want to talk about your hearing aids?
Catherine's working on it. Wait, what'd you say?
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
All right.
Doug Verboon,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Okay, we'll move on.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll move on now to board member announcements and reports. Bill, you want to start?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kings Federal Credit Union had a supervisors meeting last Tuesday and reviewed the audit. The audit looked good, so certainly want to thank staff for doing all of their hard work and getting all the books and all the paperwork filed. Farmers Market at the Remington, went to see that. Kind of a nice event for those folks that are residing at the Remington.
You get a room picked out yet?
You know, I was really looking at it because sometimes when I go home, you just never know what kind of
3 meals a day. 3 meals a day. They got activities all the time.
all the time.
They pay the power bill. You just enjoy your life.
Exactly. So that's and like 103, and then people were outside. So I don't know. Yeah, you can go inside, outside. South Fork Kings had a meeting last Thursday, and we got all of the work done there. The Lemoore Lions Club had a brew fest, and I served wine. So being a wino at a brew fest was kind of fun, but it was always nice crowd. Adventist Health Fund Monday had received a check from Valley Strong Credit Union for the cath lab. Adventist Health is trying to get that cath lab up and running, and hopefully in a couple of years they'll be able to do the cardiac care here locally. The climate change meeting took place, kind of a first organizational meeting. And we'll continue to work through some of the heat-related issues in the valley. And then yesterday, after the budget hearings, King Thomas had a meeting, and we reviewed the point-in-time count as well as the annual review that will annual report that will be coming here for review as well. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you. You know, it's wine before beer. No. Wine before beer, better beer. Beer before wine, mighty fine. So you got next time you know that, you tell them if you had a beer, you can't have wine. Well, you can have wine after beer, but you can't have beer after wine.
We broke all of the wine rules because it was 103 out there, so we cooled it off.
Okay, good.
And it went a lot better than just trying to serve it at ambient temperature of 103.
Yeah.
And I think if we'd had 7 up there and ice, we'd have probably done even better.
Wine coolers.
Exactly.
Right.
So we put that on the list. Thank you.
Supervisor Valley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Couple things. One, I want to thank staff again for yesterday's budget hearings. That was my 17th budget cycle, and I think yesterday was the easiest one. It was well organized. So appreciate CEO Martinez, staff, and all the department heads once again. For those who don't know in the public, we were here probably about 4 hours yesterday, knocking that out. So good job. I want to welcome 2 constituents from Avnau. We have Ginger Wallace and Delilah Barajas in the crowd. I understand it's Delilah's first county board meeting. Welcome. This is where decisions are made at the county level that affect the communities and the city of Avnau. So thank you. I know it's a drive, and it's a good segue to this past Friday. Like you, I spent the hour with the grand jury. We have members of the grand jury here. I want to thank them for their service to the county. And I know we can't talk about what we talked about, but I will say that they were good questions from the round table of the folks. So they asked very thorough questions. And when you talk about a drive from Avnau to Hanford to come and sit here and attend a county board meeting, we're having a hard time getting someone from our district to serve on the grand jury. I don't know how we tackle that. I didn't want to bring it up yesterday when we took up the grand jury's budget. I don't know if that's some kind of extra incentive for those who travel further away outside the county to come here to Hanford to sit in that grand jury office. But I think maybe we can work with them to figure something out, because I think in all fairness, a good grand jury is going to have someone from all areas versus just loaded with Hanford and the North people. And I don't say that in a negative way, because, hey, at the end of the day, they are serving, and it's hard to get people to serve. So we're glad about that. And maybe we're trying to round that out. I do want to say that Thursday, I keep thinking it's tomorrow, but Thursday, I'm on the agenda for the Home Garden Community Services District, and I have some county staff who are going to take some time to attend with me. On the agenda, we're going to give that Home Garden Community Service District board members information on the vacant lot. Sometimes these houses burned down, they're just left there. They're a nuisance to the community and attract rodents and just other dangerous things, not to mention the visual of having your neighbor's lot just having burnt down home for 3 years. So there's ways we can help with that. Also, to give them information on audits coming out of some concerns on their financials, and so and see what we can do to be helpful in that manner. So I look forward to that. And then lastly, because we're not here next week, I'm going to give a 1 week advance notice that on starting Wednesday, September 3rd, I'm going to be, I was asked and I accepted once a month appearance on the KMTH Great Day Morning Show. My time slot is 7:12 a.m., the first Wednesday of every month. and I'm going to be highlighting things that are going on in the County of Kings. And so anything cool and exciting that you have that you want promoted, shoot me an email or a text, and I'm going to be able to start doing that.
You can get up that early, or they film it the day before.
Well, I get back from my jog about 5 a.m. and then I take a nap till noon. But I told them I prefer to work in the evenings, but it doesn't work with the great big moon. So, but I am looking forward to it.
Can we call in?
Not you. When now the producers block your line.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I already got questions.
It's going to be a Zoom. It's going to be a Zoom from around the county. The first one I'll do from my home, and my son Kobe's going to help me on the opposite side and make sure the technology and everything. But I want to move around the county and come to something you got going on and promote it on there. And then last week,
September 6th, we got the sheriff's coffee dinner.
Hey, maybe we might do that. Huh? Yeah, bring me a big plate of crab so I have something to taste on there. And then lastly, thank you for bringing up the moment of silence for Dr. Joseph Castro. Good man. And he's very helpful. My son Kobe attended Fresno State University, and he's very humble in his leadership. And I think I'll just close with his words, which is be bold.
Be bold. Yes, sir. Supervisor Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let's see, last Thursday, I attended the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District, or much easier, Air Board meeting. A lot of funding cuts to the Air Board recently with the politics going on. So they recently put on pause our farmer program, which is the most successful program where we replace tractors and other farm equipment. So those that are in line will remain in line. There's a lot left to be funded. I believe we have about $200 million in funding, but we have about $700 million in commitments. So we got to get caught up, but right now we're on pause. So Doug, I don't know if you're still in queue, but if you are, you'll remain right where you are. I'll hold up. All right. Also in regards to smoke and wildfire mitigation, there's a California labor law that's interfering with this in regards to the sheep herders and the goat herders, which is kind of a chuckle at first. But as many of you know, they in the past, it's done a really effective job with wildfire mitigation. But the hiccup is the labor law forces them to pay the sheep herders and the goat herders on a 24-hour schedule. So because it's getting so expensive, because they're getting overtime and double time and all that, I think they said a goat herder these days is going for about 150,000 plus, which means not very many people are hiring. Yes, sir. I'll be a goat herder. I've got to be a midwife. That'll be my retirement job. You have to be a midwife too. The robe's a good look. But if we can solve this problem, it would be huge. Yes, for air quality, but definitely for wildfire mitigation. So I reached out to several, but thank you to Victor Chevron, because he said Senator Hurtado is working on this. Fortunately, she's working on it. Unfortunately, it's a 2-year bill. So you probably won't see much this year. I hope it gains traction because it's kind of low-hanging fruit. On the other hand, it can solve a lot of problems. So thank you. Good luck to Senator. Let's see. Yesterday, I attended the budget meeting with staff and supervisors. Good job to staff. A very detailed budget report. Thank you. Also attended a Main Street Hanford meeting with Mayor Payton to start a dialogue between government and downtown and hear their budget challenges. Sometimes folks assume they're just doing well, and they are doing much better than we were doing when we started it. However, they have some challenges that need to be addressed. And so I do want to congratulate them. I'm with Chief here today, and he's part of Main Street Hanford, president, I believe. Right now, they've been doing murals, and they've been doing, a number of beautification projects throughout Hanford. So I encourage it. I'm grateful for you doing that, but it's going to require cooperation between government and Main Street. Lastly, thanks to Mitchell Public Works. He put up a couple of flashing lights over there at the schools in Ramona. So that should be helpful. We have one more left. And also spoke to him this morning. Due to some of the recent traffic accidents, they're going to put an LED beacon at 15th and Grangemouth. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very good. A couple things last week. Kerry Martinez and myself and Julieta Martinez from Economic Development Corporation, we attended the Visalia and Tulare County State of the County, State of the City, which was very entertaining. We got called out on the water issue. They talked about their issues, but when it came down to the audience, they all wanted to know about water. And then also attended the Tulare County and the Tulare City, State of the County on Friday. And little different scenario, a lot more people in Tulare County and Tulare City. And then I also went on Friday, I had a Zoom meeting with our policy council on our upcoming trip to DC, and we will go to EPA, look for more funding for the tractor program. And so that's one thing we do there. Then I had the San Joaquin Valley Regional Area Conference Zoom meeting at the same time, which is going to be our upcoming event in Clovis coming up. And then we also had Paul Yoder, and we had an hour and a half meeting with our lobbyists. And also one afternoon, we had an hour meeting with the state. I don't know what you'd call them, but we discussed Triangle Courtyard and gives options of what we can do to either save it or just do something with it. So they're very helpful. We'll follow up with that, and I have something to show the community here soon. With that, I'll turn it over to Kerry Martinez for staff updates and reports.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I start, I wanted to thank staff. I missed 4 yesterday on their amount of budget years they've been here. So Fran has been with the county with admin for 12 years. This is a 12th budget year. This was Catherine's 24th budget year. Diane Badad here. And Christina was her 3rd year. So I wanted to kind of highlight them.
33rd year?
33 years. So the board received a copy of Lemoore Cemetery District budget for fiscal year 25-26, dated August 21st. The board received correspondence from the Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control on August 20th regarding application for alcoholic beverage license for Fugazi's in Kingsburg. Not sure why it was sent to us. The board received correspondence sent to Governor Newsom on dated August 10th regarding the immediate action needed for the State Water Board construction general permit changes. The board received various reports all pertaining to July 2025 from the Department of Finance, dated August 22nd, the monthly fund balance report, the investment pool portfolio management summary, and the treasury report on cash investments. For upcoming events, Kings County Library will host its family craft time at the Corcoran branch this Thursday, August 28th at 3:30. The library will also host its family game time at the Stratford Branch Library next Wednesday, September 3rd at 2 p.m. And Kings County Behavioral Health will host its Survivor of Suicide Law Support Group next Wednesday, September 3rd from 5:30 to 7:30 here on campus. Public Health will host its blood drive next Thursday, September 4th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. here on our campus in the multi-purpose room. Due to the heat, walk-ins are welcome, but you can also sign up online to reserve your spot ahead of time. For upcoming agenda items, the following agenda items are for September 9th, as the board meeting for September 2nd is canceled due to Labor Day holiday. Administration has 5 items: an agreement for the 5-year public facilities fees report, an appointment of the Kings County Solid Waste Enforcement Hearing Panel, the presentation employee of the quarter for the 2nd quarter of 2025, the designation of an alternate representative for the Kings County to Public Risk Innovation Solutions and Management Organization, and salary adjustments for the Director of Community Development and the Director of Finance. Behavioral Health has 2 items: a resolution for proclaiming September 2025 the National Suicide Prevention Recovery Month, and an agreement for some adult residential care. CDA has 2 items: study session on the establishment of the Kings County General Plan Advisory Committee, and a monthly report of Planning Commission actions. Department of Finance has 1 item regarding the property tax rate. Human Resources has 1 item on the suspension of competition in the Sheriff's Office. Library has 2 items: the membership contribution to the San Joaquin Valley Library System and the Hanford Branch Library Security Guard Agreement with Fresno Private Security Signal. And lastly, Public Works has 1 item on the approval notice of the completion of the Avenel Cutoff Roadway Improvement Phase 2 to provide notice that the work has been completed. And that concludes my report. There's a lot of agenda items, so apologies if I had missed a few, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
On one, I know we talked yesterday, the item when we come back, celebrate the birthday of the state of California. we're going to have that on the next agenda, right? On the
Yeah,
ninth.
I gave everything to staff last night to review, and we're going to discuss it today.
What in
Should have
closed
done,
session?
should have done, no, just going to discuss it about how we're going to do it. Because they gotta print it and do all that stuff.
Okay. But is do
Correct. So that's part of what we're going to discuss.
Got
what we
something?
need to do.
no, I just think that would be cool to like department head or members, something cool to put in there.
Can we put it in letter or newsletter?
I apologize. I did not know that there was a time capsule. I missed that point.
There was a lot of information in the packet, the email that their office sent us, but on the day that so again, they want all the counties that next Tuesday to pass something, but they're going to do a ceremony at the same time that day in Sacramento where they'll be putting things in the time capsules. So
September 9th.
we kind of got a short window to get something up there.
We can put
We can have the sheriff fly.
hey, we
something
can
up
put a
there.
cow hat. Yeah, we do 5 Pillars of Freedom.
5 pillars.
I say 5 Pillars.
5 pillars.
Got coin. The coins left. Got we got coins.
No, we got coin.
We got
Yeah.
coins? Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, if you'd like, I could send an email out to department heads asking to gather all the items before like Friday.
Very good. Thank you. At this time, we'll turn the meeting over to County Council to address closed session as outlined.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. They will consider 5 items in closed session. Item 2 is being pulled and to the September 23rd Board of Supervisors meeting. On closed session for today, conference with real property negotiators for 401 North Irwin Street in Hanford. Conference with labor negotiators, all units. Conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, Smith v. County of Kings. Conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, Rather v. County of Kings. And conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, Trejo v. County of Kings. I'll turn it back to you for public comment.
All right, thank you very much. Is there any public comments today? Seeing none, we will be adjourned until September 9th. Okay. Thank you very much.